administration. He's now a senior fellow at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. Thanks very much, both of you. Welcome to the News Hour. Mona Yacoubian, let me start with you. What's your response to Israel's strike in Doha today?
Well, it's stunning. It's unprecedented. This is the first time we've seen Israel strike the capital of a Gulf country, and a country that also happens to host the largest U.S. military installation.
And a country that also happens to host the largest U.S. military installation in the region.
It marks a very dangerous escalation in tensions.
It marks a very dangerous escalation in tensions.
David Schenker, do you see it as a dangerous escalation?
David Schenker, do you see it as a dangerous escalation?
Well, I think it is something that is unusual, maybe not so unprecedented.
It is something that is unusual, maybe not so unprecedented.
Israel has killed
Hamas
officials in Arab states before.
Has killed Hamas officials in Arab states before.
But this is something that I think the region.
But this is something that I think the region.
Much of the region will see it.
Much of the region
is provocative.
Will see as provocative
and a little reckless.
And a little reckless. A little reckless. Reckless, 鲁莽.
So let's talk about the region. A senior diplomat from a Gulf country told.
So let's talk about the region. A senior diplomat from a Gulf country told
me this tonight. That
tonight.
The impact of the strike is that nobody feels safe.
That the impact of the strike is that nobody feels safe.
Because even the Trump administration,
this
diplomat told me, couldn't stop Netanyahu from attacking Qatar.
Couldn't stop Netanyahu from attacking Qatar,
which is designated
a
U.S. major non-NATO ally,
which is designated a U.S. major non-NATO ally. What's the meaning of designated?
Designated.
指定的、选定的 designated a U.S. major non-NATO ally, and that quote.
And that quote, I would put a big question about whether the.
I put a big question about whether
Abraham Accords can survive.
The Abraham Accords can survive.
Unquote, of course, the deal that the Trump administration made during the first administration with multiple Middle Eastern
made during the first administration with multiple Middle Eastern countries and
Israel. So, Mona Yacoubian.
Do
you agree that the impact regionally is that high?
Do you agree that the impact regionally is that high?
It's quite significant. And this is the region has increasingly viewed Israel.
The region has increasingly viewed Israel
as the primary threat.
As a primary threat,
not Iran.
Not Iran.
They see Israel as acting with impunity and transgressing.
They see Israel as acting with impunity and transgressing
international law.
Transgressing international law.
这句话的
违反国际法 transgressing international law
and norms
on a regular basis.
Whether it goes so far as to have countries
Whether it goes too far as countries
withdraw from the Abraham
withdraw from the Abraham
Accords, that's an open
that's an
question.
open
But there's
question.
no
But there's no
doubt
doubt
that the region increasingly views
views
Israel as the chief purveyor
as the chief purveyor, views Israel as the chief purveyor, views Israel as the chief purveyor of destabilization.
首先需要纠正表述中的拼写。
将以色列视为破坏稳定的主要推手 ，chief purveyor of destabilization.
of destabilization.
Destabilization.
David Shanker, what's the impact of that? Do you agree
David Shanker, what's the impact of
with
that?
that? And if that's
Do you agree with
the
that?
case, is
And if the case,
there a threat to some of the Abraham Accords work that you yourself did?
is there a threat to some of the Abraham Accords work that you yourself did?
Well, there's no threat that Qatar will now not be joining the.
Well, there was no threat that Qatar will now not to be joining the
Abraham Accords.
Abraham Accords. Qatar will not join Abraham Accords.
你可能想说的是，
亚伯拉罕协议 Abraham Accords.
That they were not on the list or even remotely had the potential for being there.
They were not on the list, or even remotely had the potential for being
But,
there.
I think there's other things that are actually more of a threat.
But I think there's other things that are actually more of a threat. Just
last week, United Arab Emirates said they would slow down normalization, maybe suspend the Abraham Accords, withdraw from their ambassador from
withdraw their ambassador
Tel
from
Aviv if
Tel Aviv.
Israel decided to annex territories. We've heard
If Israel decided to annex territories,
really bellicose statements
toward
Israel coming out of Jordan,
towards Israel coming out of Jordan,
in response not only
to the threat of annexation of
the West Bank, but also
the West Bank,
the impending big ops and
but also the impending big ops and operation in Gaza.
operations in Gaza. So at a minimum, Abraham Accords aren't going to be expanded anytime soon.
Abraham Accords aren't going to be expanded anymore anytime soon.
Let's keep in mind, though, that this Gaza war, the longer it goes on, the longer it's going to take.
Let's discuss the war. The longer it goes on, the longer it's going to take for
any of these
only of these potential
partners to
get in
line, to normalize, to do anything
close with Israel.
Yeah, Moni Kubin, the cynic in me says, well,
Moni, you're copying. The cynic in me says. The cynic in me says.
Impact on the Abraham Accords.
The impact on Abraham
The impact on the
Accord.
region is really
The impact on the region
just what happens in Gaza.
is really just what happens in Gaza.
And it's not really a
And it's not
huge
really
impact to have a strike in Doha,
has a huge impact to have a strike in
despite
Doha,
what you guys have said,
despite what you guys have
in
said,
part because
the
military leadership
in
in Gaza is the one making the decisions, not the
is the one making the decisions,
political leadership in Doha.
not the political leadership in Doha.
Well, what we're seeing,
We are countries and
ways in which the Gulf countries and others have really come together
have really come together in the face of the latest action by Israel.
This latest action by Israel. I don't think it's limited just to Gaza. I think the region more broadly takes a look at, takes account of Israel's actions.
Takes account of Israel's
Let's
actions.
note, this is now the second time in just
Let's note this is now the second time in
a
just
few months that Israel has undertaken military strikes in the midst of negotiations.
That Israel has undertaken military strikes in the midst of negotiations.
Whether it was the U.S. and Iran,
whether it was the U.S. or Iran,
or now the Qataris,
or now the Qataris
seeking to negotiate between Hamas
and Israel.
I think it's raising much bigger questions in the region.
I think it's raising much bigger questions in the region
about what role Israel sees
for itself.
What is its end game?
What is its end game? What is its end game? Translate into Chinese. What is its end game? Translate it into Chinese.
它的最终目标是
它的最终目标是什么 Its end game.
And, I think it does broadly raise questions.
And I think it does broadly raise questions about
whether or not and
how
Israel could eventually be integrated into the
how Israel could eventually be integrated into the
Arab world.
Arab world.
Shanker, if you were still Assistant Secretary of State right now, would you
if you were still Assistant Secretary of State right now,
advise?
Would you advise?
Should the president impose any kind of penalty?
Impose any kind of penalty
on Israel for targeting a U.S. non-NATO major ally?
Or targeting a U.S. non-NATO major ally?
Listen, I think Qatar can withstand quite a bit.
Listen, I think Qatar can withstand quite a bit.
Let's remember that
this
summer they were attacked by 12 missiles coming from Iran.
They were attacked by 12 missiles coming from Iran.
They didn't do anything in response.
They didn't do anything in response.
I think Qatar, which sort of plays it both ways at many times.
Which sort of plays in both ways at many times.
For them, this is sort of the
For
price
them, this is sort of the
of
price
doing business,
of doing business.
perhaps. But
Perhaps.
no, I don't
But no, I don't.
expect sanctions. In fact,
I don't expect
I
sanctions.
think the U.S. knew about this well in advance.
In fact, I think the U.S. knew about this well in advance.
Udaid, our largest
base in
base in the region, has a force protection footprint of the
has a force protection footprint of
whole
the
island.
whole
And
island.
so this must
And so this
have
must
been cleared
have been cleared days,
days, if not more,
if not more,
beforehand.
but beforehand.
But fortunately,
But fortunately,
I think Qatar is,
I think Qatar is
has accepted
has accepted
the sort of
the sort of
the U.S. explanation,
the U.S. explanation,
notwithstanding it straining credulity.
notwithstanding its straining credulity. Sort of the U.S. explanation, notwithstanding its straining credulity.
某种程度上，这是美国的解释，尽管它难以令人信服。
某种程度上，这是美国的解释，尽管它难以令人信服。Straining credulity. What's the meaning of credulity?
Credulity 指轻信。
Straining credulity.
Straining credulity 表示令人难以相信。
Straining credulity. 令人难以相信。Notwithstanding.
Notwithstanding 只要用作介词或
尽管 notwithstanding its straining credulity. What's the meaning of straining?
Straining 是动词 strain 的现在分词形式，核心含义随语境变化，主要
用力使承受压力，挑战 straining credulity. Credulity.
Credulity 是名词，意为轻信、易信，指人容易相信他人。
Straining credulity. 令人难以相信。
Just to be clear very quickly, David Schenker, the White House said clearly today that it did not get days or any kind of advance notice. It saw the planes in the air.
The threat for and of mistakes for a major U.S. base in the region to have airplanes flying toward it, this requires some coordination beforehand. So I think the United States, the Trump administration, is trying to thread the needle here.
Thread needle here. Thread needle here.
Thread needle here 的核心意思是
在这里穿针引线。
Give the Qataris sort of plausible deniability that
Give the Qataris sort of plausible deniability. Give the Qataris sort of plausible deniability.
Give the catalyst sort of plausible deniability 可理解为
What's the meaning of plausible deniability?
plausible deniability 是一个名词短语，核心含义是合理推诿性。
似是而非的否认空间，合理推诿性。Sort of plausible deniability. What's the meaning plausible?
plausible 是形容词，核心含义是看似合理的。
看似合理的 plausible. What's the meaning deniability?
deniability 是名词，核心含义是否认的可能性。
否认的可能性。Plausible deniability that
the U.S. was not
the U.S. was not
implicated
somehow. The U.S. was not implicated somehow.
The U.S. was not in
美国在某种程度上未被牵连其中 implicated. Not implicated somehow.
but my sense is that it's more than likely we had a little bit more
But my sense is that it's more than likely.
advance notice.
Yakubian, just in the 20 or so seconds we have left, what's the impact of this on the negotiations to end the war in Gaza?
What's the impact of this on the negotiations to end the war in Gaza?
I think the negotiations have been set extremely far back.
I think the negotiations have been set extremely far back.
Any hope for a ceasefire
Any hope for a ceasefire
now is just a distant prospect at best.
Mona Yakubian, David Shanker, thanks very much to you both.
Thank you.